Welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. I have one of the biggest excited piece of news for you in Newton. Today we have joining with us in the studio the Commonwealth Lyric Theatre. And on my immediate right is Olga
Lisovskaya,
and Jonathan
Jonathan Price.
William Meinert.
and Alexander.
Pakichenko.
I want to thank you all for joining me here on Living in the 21st Century.
thank you for
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. My first question goes out to you, Olga. What makes you so passionate about restoring a piece of Russian 15th to 16th century history and bringing it alive to the Newton residents right here at this time?
That's a loaded question, Errol. Well, our theater, Commonwealth Lyric Theater, founded in 2012, our niche is to produce Slavic opera, Russian opera, Ukrainian opera. We've done Tchaikovsky, we've done Rachmaninoff, we've done Rimsky-Korsakov, and last year we did a Ukrainian opera, Kazakh Beyond the Danube by Hulak Artemovsky. And last year we had a wonderful bass singing the lead role. And after a big successful run of the opera, our artistic director, Alexander Prokhorov, approached the bass and he said, "What would you like to do next?" And as any true bass, he answered, "Boris Godunov." Because Boris Godunov, that role is the epitome of role for any bass. And Alexander Prokhorov said, "Well, this is something that I've been dreaming about for many years to put on, but I've been waiting for the right moment to do it, and so I guess the right moment has come, and let's do it." And so a year ago we decided that that's something that we're gonna produce, and we started our work, gathering the soloists, gathering the stage management crew, the designers and costume designers, and all of these things that go into putting on an opera production.
Beautiful. So, William, what really made you become so devout to bass, singing bass? What made you so passionate about it?
Well, about singing bass, it's predisposed genetically. Like the size of my vocal cords
I
makes
can
me
hear
a
it in your
bass.
voice
But
already.
as far as being an opera singer, I've discovered when I started singing that my voice fits well into opera, the style of opera, better than any other style, and I continued studying
Beautiful,
under
beautiful,
that style.
beautiful. And Jonathan, tell me a little bit about yourself and this whole ideology and concept about embracing music.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, actually, a funny thing is that William and I didn't know each other before this show, but it turns out we actually grew up about 10 minutes away from each other in the Washington, D.C. area, Northern Virginia. I grew up with music in the house. My mom is a classical singer
Beautiful.
as well and teaches voice now down in New Jersey with Westminster Choir College. And it was one of those things, kind of like William. I started singing really young, and I think, like so many, we like to do things that we're good at. And I found out that I was good at it, and so it was a joy. And then you get to a point at some point where you have to decide, am I going to really work at this and get better and take it seriously, or is it going to remain a hobby, and am I going to pursue other things? So I wrestled with that a little bit because I have other interests as well.
Okay.
And anytime I tried to do something else, I always felt it kind of pulling me back, and in a wonderful way.
Okay.
And so that's what I do now, and it's just a joy.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Alexandra, you're a pianist. Tell us about your life and the richness of playing the piano. I mean, you played a beautiful piece here a few minutes ago.
Александр, расскажите, почему вы стали пианистом и как жизнь пианиста обогащает вашу жизнь личную?
Я стал с раннего детства сочинять, и у меня был инструмент
I composed
piano.
from early childhood and I had an instrument, piano.
И я очень любил эти звуки.
I
И
love the
даже,
sound of the piano.
знаете, сегодня я был в вашем городе в одном салоне роялей, и я сказал, it's my dream.
He was in one of the piano stores in
Okay.
Newton, and he said, "It's my dream."
It's my dream.
That's
Я
beautiful.
готов там жить, если играть на этом инструменте все время.
He will be happy even to live in that place and play that gorgeous instrument that he saw today.
Well, that's beautiful. I mean, I can see that Russia has a long, rich history when it comes to classical music. It had produced
У
some
России
very
очень
great.
большая история классической музыки и очень богатая история.
Да, это наше самое главное богатство.
It's
И
one of our main treasures, classical music.
даже вот в этой музыке, которую мы готовим к показу, соединились два гения, и Пушкин, и Мусоргский.
И Римский-Корсаков.
Римский-Корсаков.
And even
Да.
in the piece that we're preparing, Boris Godunov, it joined two or now three geniuses: Pushkin, who is a poet, Russian
Okay.
poet, Mussorgsky, and then Rimsky-Korsakov, who arranged Mussorgsky's music later on.
Beautiful. So tell us a little bit of this performance you have scheduled here for Newton.
Yes, so the performance is part of Newton Festival, and we're very grateful to the city of Newton for inviting us to perform. It will be May 20th, 21st, 24th, and 26th. Now, there are 4 performances, but 2 will be outdoor performances, which is a very interesting and unique way to present opera. This is our first time performing opera outside, so we have some challenges which are very interesting to overcome, but it creates its own magic. And 2 more performances on May 24th and 26th at Newton City Hall. We have a wonderful cast of soloists, and you introduced William and Jonathan. So Jonathan is singing the role of Grigory / false Dmitri, the imposter, the evil guy who takes away the throne from little Tsarevich Fyodor. And actually, it's not in the opera itself, but what happens historically.
Okay.
When false Dmitri comes and conquers Moscow, he murders the Tsar's family, except for the Tsar's daughter, whom he sends to the monastery. So it's a very, very dark time. And William will be singing the role of Varlam. Why don't you tell us a little bit more?
Well, Varlam is kind of the comic relief for the opera. He's a monk, but he's not a very good monk. You wouldn't want to take spiritual advice from him. He likes to drink a lot. He's very loud. You'll hear him coming a mile away.
Okay.
He spends a lot of time in taverns drinking. He
What
does
a
play.
monk. What a monk.
What
yeah,
a monk.
yeah.
Mhm.
He's not a usual monk.
Okay. So, Jonathan,
Yes, sir.
you have just said, I note carefully you would have just said that you grew up 10 minutes away from each other and you create this passion and so forth. So are you taking this as a full-time career where you're going to be like traveling and performing?
Yes,
as
yes.
time
Actually, I'm very excited to be back here. I did my graduate work at Boston Conservatory, not too far away, and that's where I first got introduced to Commonwealth Lyric Theater and the wonderful work that they do. I first, when I was finishing up as a student, they gave me a wonderful opportunity to sing with them in Alieko,
Okay.
which was a real privilege for me. That was my first Russian opera, which was a huge thing to take on. I think, like so many things, if I'd known what a huge thing it was at the beginning, I don't know if I would have had the courage to say yes, but
Well,
I'm
we're so
glad.
happy that he said
Beautiful.
yes, because he's become one of our main soloists, and
Okay.
we've used his talents for a number of performances later on.
I think at this time we are going to do a demonstration on a video that you are going to
Yes.
be showing what it's all about. So,
Sure. Let me just set this up for a second, because I think
sure.
if you get this without explanation, it might frighten you. As Olga said earlier, I'm playing false Dmitri at this point. Grigory is my character's actual name. He was a monk who heard from his sort of mentor, spiritual advisor in the monastery about Boris and some of the evil things that the
Okay.
monk thought he'd done. And this is after he's run away.
Sure.
and this is his message now as the false Dimitri,
Okay.
crying out,
So-
calling people to come and
Right.
rally behind
Okay.
him.
Beautiful. So we have to take the roll of the video at this point right now. So we're gonna
Yes,
just
absolutely.
pause for a second while that is
Mhm.
being played. We are going to do a performance, a 2 minutes performance. I think it is. You're going to be singing, William. You're going to be singing bass, and Alexandra are going to be performing on the keyboard.
Mhm.
So you're going to just gradually slide over to the keyboard and very, very slowly and get into that position. Let the Newton resonance hear this beautiful voice and this beautiful pianist.
Задымилась свечка воскуяна, отходил молодой пушкарь от бочечки, ай, с порохом до башка закружилась, ай, под копом покатилась, ай, хлопнула. Завопили, загорелись и татаровье, благим матом заливались. Полегло татаровье тот мошая, полегло и 40 тысяч, и 3000. Так вакорье пила так осады. Эй!
Bravo.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, tell me, William, I mean, did you do any kind of voice training, or you said this is natural to you? This
No. I've had plenty of voice training. I study in Fairfax, Virginia, with my teacher Russell Penny, and I've studied with him since I was a junior in high school when I started singing.
What would be your advice to young people who recognize they have such beautiful voices? How would you advise them to find ways of utilizing it and don't just put it to rest?
Well, if they're young, like in high school, they should definitely find a very good voice teacher
Okay.
who understands their voice and also their stylistic leanings, where they want to go with their singing, if they want to do pop
Right.
or opera or whatever.
Great, great. And Alexandra, tell us a little bit about growing up in Russia and how you would have kept yourself knitted to music and didn't really stray away from it. I know you said that you were engraved to music because of your exposure and so forth, but you know there are kids who often like things and as they grow and get older, they just decide that's enough.
Расскажите немножко о вашей жизни в России и почему вы остались верными музыке, верными профессии музыканта, потому что многие дети, когда они вырастают, они могут оставлять музыку, но вы остались верными.
Спасибо, что вы так думаете. Это действительно так, потому что музыка — это великая сила.
Thank you very much for this question. Music is a great power, great force.
И, наверное, мне повезло с теми людьми, которые меня влюбили в эту музыку.
And probably I was very lucky to have people in my life who made me fall in love with music.
У меня были прекрасные педагоги,
I had great teachers,
и я стал сочинять.
and I started to
И
compose.
сейчас в России я работаю и как композитор, и как пианист.
And now in Russia, I
И-
work as a composer as well as a pianist.
И я счастлив, что моя профессия, моя любовь, она не связана с границами. И я счастлив, что Александр Прохоров в данном случае пригласил меня в ваш прекрасный город.
And I'm very happy that my profession is not does not have boundaries. And I'm very happy that Alexander Prokhorov, our artistic director, invited him, to participate in this project.
Beautiful, excellent. And Olga, you are soloist also, I think.
Yes, I am.
I'm not going to get something from you today.
Not today.
Not
Today
today.
I am executive director of the company, but I
Okay.
will be singing the role of Tsar's daughter,
Okay.
Ksenia, but it's a very small role, very pretty, but I have a feeling that Mussorgsky preferred lower voices. There is, how many basses are there in Boris Godunov? There is Boris Godunov, there is Varlam, there is Pimen, so 3 really big roles for basses, and there is tenors, and 2 big roles for mezzo-sopranos, and then later there was another role added for a mezzo-soprano and a tiny little role for soprano.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Jonathan, I'm not going to let you hide your voice. I think you're going to do a piece with William, and take it away. You're
Not today.
Oh, not today. You're not
It's
going to do
gonna be
that.
a
That's going to be a big surprise.
It's going to be a big surprise in
Okay.
the opera, so you have to come to the opera to hear the
You-
rest of our soloists to
You're leaving the
perform.
best for the last.
Yes, of course. And we have a great cast of soloists, and many of them are in rehearsal right now. And so please come to hear them and the orchestra.
Okay.
And
Are you going to be opening any doors for the Newton residents that they can get any kind of tutoring from you, or is there any way that members from the Newton community can come and join your organization?
what an interesting question. I really like the way you think, Harold.
Okay.
We really welcome Newton residents because we are well, I'm a Newton resident.
Beautiful.
I live in Newton Center. My son goes to Mason Rice.
Beautiful.
And we would love to see many more Newton residents at our performances, as well as participating in our productions as soloists or volunteers. In fact, if anybody in Newton would like to help us out with costumes, with ushering and building and any kind of little job that opera requires, please contact me. I will be happy to see you, and we'll be happy to give you an opportunity to be around these wonderful artists
Beautiful.
and to enrich our community.
Okay. So what could the whole Newton community expect that day when you decide to get out there and bring this talent, really bring this talent out to the Newton residents? What should they look forward to?
Well,
yeah.
so our cast is truly international cast.
Beautiful.
So the main role, Boris Godunov, as I said, it's a very challenging role. It's probably one of the most difficult roles for a bass,
Okay.
and it is being sung by bass from Ukraine.
Okay.
And we have soloists from Germany, from Russia, from Bolshoi Theater, and from France, as well as from the United States. And we have 2 wonderful pianists. Alexander Pakichenko is from Moscow, and he is actually has this very important title in Russia as honored artist of Russia. It's not easy to get. You have to be quite an amazing musician to get this honor. And another pianist we have is from Kiev, from Ukraine, Alexander Polyakov, and he's won a number of international competitions. And our conductor is from New York, Adrian Britton, and our costume designer and set designers from Moscow, Nastya Grigorieva. So as you can see, we're a truly international team. And on top of everything, we have chorus, adult chorus and children's chorus.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, Alexander, I must ask you again. You are the superstar here right now.
Сейчас суперзвезда.
Such honor in Russia, and really mastering the art of classical and being a pianist. I mean, it must be a great achievement for you. How would you inspire young people to work towards that goal?
Вы достигли очень высоких целей. Вы honored artist of Russia, артист, заслуженный артист России. И как бы вы вдохновляли молодое поколение становиться музыкантами и продолжать в классическом мире?
Как бы я это делал?
Да, что бы вы могли сказать молодым людям?
Я думаю, что очень важно не изменять себе. И если человек чувствует, что музыка его окрыляет,
So I feel strongly that one should stay true to oneself, and if one feels that music gives him wings,
то нужно верить в
then
себя.
you need to trust yourself,
И
believe in yourself.
обязательно рано или поздно придет и успех, а даже главное не успех, а вот то, что ты занимаешься любимым делом, и это счастье.
Sooner or later,
Okay.
the success will come, but not even success is that important.
Yeah.
What's important is that you are doing what you truly love.
Beautiful.
Знаете, я приведу такой пример из
I would
своей
like to give you
жизни.
an example.
Есть в Сан-Франциско университет, и там есть рояль.
In San Francisco, there is a university, and it
Okay.
has a beautiful grand piano.
И рояль такого качества и таких возможностей, что я готов к нему прилететь, и прилетал не раз для того, чтобы сыграть на нем.
And the instrument has such wonderful quality and such wonderful sound that I was ready to fly across the world just to play on it, and I have done that.
И тогда инструмент, не обязательно мне, любому человеку, который будет его любить и уметь играть, он ответит как человек.
And if you truly love the instrument, and the instrument will feel your passion, and the instrument will respond to you as if it were a human being.
You know, this is really beautiful. I'll tell
I
you
know.
what.
He's a poet. You're a poet as well.
I find that most musicians have this tendency of maintaining this youthfulness. Is there some secret ingredients in music that soothes the soul, that keep you stress-free or something? Because
Well,
y'all guys look like you don't have a care in the world to worry about.
Well,
This-
if you do singing, then you really need to be able to be carefree, because being a singer is not that easy. You know, you have to build a career, and so you really truly need to love what you're doing in order to continue in that path. But from the technical point, the singers look youthful because they use the muscles here in their facial muscles, which keep them looking like as if they've had a facelift. So that's what I tell my singers.
Absolutely. The other thing that's wonderful is we get to spend so much time with people like Alexander and other beautiful souls making music. And so, it's just been such a joy to be up here and be with the community around Commonwealth Lyric Theatre.
Yes.
Getting to spend time with so many wonderful people who just bring life, light, joy
Yes, I was just
into our
gonna
lives.
thank you for bringing this up, because our theater, our Commonwealth Lyric Theatre, I'm the executive director, but I feel this is my family. And the way we are rehearsing, it's like good friends coming together, and we're really making music. There is no nerves involved, and you don't have to impress anybody. Of course, there is an element of that, as with any performing. But compared to other companies, we do, I think, open our singers' talents and potentials to its fullest, because we really, really support them and really give them the opportunity to perform.
So when is your date scheduled for this performance in Newton?
So once again, May 20th, 21st, it's this Friday and Saturday, outdoor performances at 381 Dudley Road in Newton Center, and 2 more on May 24th and 26th, that's next Tuesday and Thursday, in Newton City Hall. And all of the performances are at 8 p.m.
Beautiful. And I must say, William, I wish I had a bass voice like yours. I used to try singing like you one time.
I predict here that William is going to have a great career. He's a true star, and we're very lucky to have him. And he's probably one of the youngest varlams ever. Varlam is usually sung by a seasoned voice, but William, I don't know how. It's a great tribute to your teacher. You sound amazing. We'll just.
Well, thank
the
you so
only
much.
challenge for us is to make you look old
Right,
on the
right.
stage. Not old, but you know.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, I must assume that you really do an excellent job in this singing world.
Well,
That
it's an absolute pleasure.
beautiful.
And tell us a bit about your international competition
Oh,
victory.
Sure. Well, I had the privilege of going to Osijek, Croatia,
Okay.
last summer and sing in a competition there and sing some concerts. And I was lucky enough to take first prize in the opera category of the Lavmirski International Singing Competition. It had singers from all over Europe as well as the United States. I'm not sure if it's extended beyond there, but it was a real surprise and pleasure.
Okay, so at this point, we're going to roll a video for the next 2 minutes, and we will conclude. So I want to really thank you all for coming here this evening and really letting the Newton residents know what great voices and organization such as the Commonwealth Lyric Theatre doing within the Massachusetts community.
Thank you, Errol.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much
Thank
for
you.
Thank you so
being
much.
here.
Thank you.
So at this time, we'll roll your video.
So right now he's run away and he is rallying the people to come and follow him and overtake Moscow.
Okay. So we want to say thank you all for watching in on Living in the 21st Century. And thanks once again to the Commonwealth Lyric Theatre for joining us on Living in the 21st Century. To all those at home, goodbye.
Sadi mila sa svečka voskujarało, od kadil maladoj puškarjat pašečke, a i sporkom do božka zakružila se, opet kapem pokatila se, a i hladnula. Завопили, загорелись татарове, благим матом заливались. Полегло татарове, тот Моша